Well, hello my friends. Here I am with a quick video of new and exciting stuff. See above, this will be my new sticker. Which I will be sharing with some of you that have done a request. But it starts a brand new thing in my own shop. And I've started receiving my own collection of stickers. Got this one from David Richard Dooley, a good friend, and Mike Atkinson. Both already have sent me stickers. It was posted on Facebook that I needed stickers to cover up some of the holes in my shop. So Mike gladly commented that he would love to have this sticker cover up one of the holes. And I think it's big enough to do that. So I'm going to be placing some stickers from some of you, some friends. And this video will be a follow-up of green wood turning. I get tons of questions on, how don't your pieces crack? What do you do to prevent it? What happens to it after you turned it green? Does it hold up? And I answer as well as I can. So I am going to be showing some pieces that have changed quite a bit after the turning because they were green, and some that stood fairly true. So it all depends on the wood and depends on how much twist there was on the wood grain that you're turning. So that's coming up. To the shop I decided to bring some pieces that I turned, and with the different extremes of what they decided to do. Number one is, just recently I turned this piece out of green poplar, and one of the comments said, why in the world would I go through all that trouble to turn a green poplar and make such a nice piece out of such a crappy wood? Something like that. Not crappy, far from it. Each wood will offer you different characteristics to it. Turned very green. Here's the piece. Now it's been 3 weeks. This is very light right now. Very light. So I'm assuming that it being hollowed out, thinned out, it's dry to Florida standards anyway, which is 100% humidity. But anyway, it's a dry piece. It has maintained its shape. No cracks. No droop over of the flanges, and nothing on the base as well. So the poplar is a wood that held very true to the turning. I see a slight off roundness over here. Very, very slight. Is it ruined because of that? Far from it. So here's piece one, turned about 3 weeks ago. Here's piece two, from the amazing bottle brush wood. The piece that had all the crevices going through it, including this huge separation between the area. What has it done? Well, it has created amazing stuff that I cannot create. So I don't mind if something decides to still move a little bit depending on the shape. Now if it was a lidded box and you have a lid and all of a sudden the lid doesn't fit, that would be a different story. But these pieces are not lidded anything that takes two parts to fit together. So what it has done, and I don't know if you can pick that up, I'm sure you can, it has become done shrinkage points with the different wood grain that goes through it, and it created somewhat of a scallopy oyster shell appearance to it, and it has moved slightly, becoming not perfectly circle but more of an oblong, and you can see that by the base. So still sits flat, which is my concern, is making sure that it does sit flat. But if it didn't sit flat at some point later on, all I would do is put the 3-inch disc on either my lathe or the drill press or the hand drill, and I would concave that slightly with just the sanding disc, and it would sit flat again. But either way, this is the piece after 3 weeks as well. I did this at the same time I did the poplar. So some of these might have opened up a little bit more than what they were, but it doesn't matter. To me, this piece, all it did was create its own beauty of what the wood had to offer. Now this wood is a wood that had a lot of twists and bends and different characters to each one. So every one of them that I turn will take a slightly different shape. And this is the extremes of what happens to some of my turnings after they turned green. So I decided to bring out this natural edge that I turned as soon as I got to the wood. And this one really, really has gone to town. This one decided to do its own thing. It pulled in the swing along this bar conclusion that it had going through here. So it pulled it in, and it really became a lot of shrinkage points on this, and given me the same effect as that other bolt that I just showed. A lot of high spots, low spots, shrinkage, and very oystery look. So if I look at this and say, oh my God, it's not any longer the shape that I turned it. I know I did not turn it with the swing coming up this much, almost a rollover. So what do I do with it? Proudly display it. It took its own character. It's not what I carved, it's not exactly what I cut, but it is what the wood wanted it to be. So therefore, that's still the original finish. Am I disappointed with it? No. Did I like the way it looked? Yes. Do I like the way it still looks? Yes. Not more, not less. I just like for what it develops and what it creates. Oak, on the other hand, is a wood that stays fairly stable if it doesn't split up on you. I did this piece quite a while back. It was when I got the firewood, literally split firewood logs, and I did a few pieces which some of it captured the most amazing bark that I had done. It's a small natural edge bowl, but again, it has shrunk down slightly this way, becoming a little bit oblong, but it's a natural edge. Whether if it's oblong or not oblong, it's a perfect piece that will stay this way forever, unless I drop it and I break the bark off, which I have no intention to do. Darn phone. Every time I come in here, it always beeps that it's dead. And of course, out of the sweet gum, I did this maybe 3 months ago. I don't remember exactly. It was green, and here's the results. Perfect shape. No warpage. If there is this slight, actually, I can see that I have a slight concave this way, slightly. So if I wanted to show it as a true top and set it down in flat parts this way, well, it would probably rock a little bit, but that's not what it is. This is the base, and the base is still a perfect circle without any splitting, without any checking, with nothing. The shape that I turned is still the shape that it is, and the finish is still the same. It subdues itself down a little bit, but even if I apply a friction polish on something right after I turned it, even though it's green, that finish stays on a satiny look all the way through, even months, maybe years, I don't know, after that. So here's a perfect example of 5 pieces that I've turned at different states, and they are still fine regardless of the shape they take. Like I said, that rule only does not apply if I was making a little box or a 2-piece unit that had to rely on maintaining its natural form, its form that you initially turn it on, because one part fits into the other, especially when you're mixing woods, because one will shrink different from the other. So there it is, old turned green follow-up, and what becomes of it after the fact.